Alright, so I was just chillin', living my best life, touching some real grass in my real outside, you know, when all of a sudden a game called Strinova hit me up, and it went a little something like this. Now, believe me when I say that Strinova is one of the best hero shooters I have ever played, even on par with Marvel Rivals, and you can trust me with that because I have a whole 0 hours in that game. Yeah, I've never played it. It's a 5v5 tactical hero shooter, but that's only what it is on the surface. There's a lot more stuff that goes into it than just copying the same experience from other similar games in the genre. Just for starters, it's from a third-person perspective, giving you a wildly different feel from other games like Valorant or CSGO 2. And that's not even mentioning the craziest mechanic, which I'll get into in a little bit here. Now, I know a lot of tactical hero shooters that are releasing nowadays all have these crazy mechanics that make them different or unique compared to the rest, but this one has things like this. So, you know that it really is special compared to the rest of them. Also, just quickly here, I would like to mention that this video isn't sponsored in any way by Strinova, so everything you hear in this video is genuine. But with that out of the way, let's get into The thing that I like most about Strinova's gameplay is the fact that it's not just a one-man army going in to bulldoze the entire enemy team. Unlike other games that have insane amounts of carry potential from one really good teammate, Strinova forces you to actually play with your team, and when you do, it feels really good.
No!
Oh my goodness! The flank!
Thank you so much. Evil Job stood there like a refrigerator.
The game has an insanely high skill ceiling for competitive play, but also somehow manages to make playing like a dumb little baby who just was squeezed into the world half an hour ago fun as well. There are characters for literally every type of playstyle. If you want to support your team from behind, just play Celestia and pump them full of steroids. Want to do big damage from behind cover? Well, just play a sniper like Konami and let them walk straight into your crosshair. Or maybe you want to do big damage with a big gun. Well, there's a character for that as well. There are roles that are assigned to each character, but honestly, they're more like suggestions. I mean, Big Gun Girl is a sentinel, but if raining down hellfire on the enemies so that we can move safely isn't support, then I don't know what is. With all the options and freedoms the game gives you, it can be really fun just going into games with the sole purpose of making the most atrocious team you've ever seen in your life, and still somehow making it work. For just a couple examples, you can play a character that can place blocks like Minecraft Steve, and you can just chill 1,000 feet in the air waiting for an unsuspecting victim to walk into your trap. Or you can take a character who can give themselves extra shield and pair that with a character who can give teammates even more shield and create an entire raid boss that just stomps the enemy team to the Earth's core. Doing these things doesn't even take that long to learn or master, since the learning curve when you just get into the game isn't even that high. I learned some of the most advanced mechanics in just a couple days of playing, and even if you fail a couple times while learning, you don't even feel super disappointed in yourself because the game isn't meant to be taken that seriously, unless you're playing competitively, of course. Compare that to a game like Overwatch, where if you die a couple times doing silly crap, you get flamed the rest of the game and then start probably tying up the noose. Thankfully though, Strinova's community is great, and to reflect that, I've brought a couple content creators like myself, who mainly make content on Strinova, to speak about some of the things that this game has to offer.
Ever since Riot announced Valorant, the game's unrealistic and cartoony art style took center stage in the tactical shooter genre, as the competitive esports scene launched high into the sky. Take a look at recent games like Fragpunk or Spectre Divide. These games incorporate similar art styles and visual themes. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But I'm bored of it now. It's been 5 years since Valorant came out, and you're telling me there hasn't been any decent anime tac shooter since? Seriously, search up anime tactical shooter on the web. I can confidently tell you that... oh, what's this game? Huh? No, wait, no! I love Strinova because it's unique in the tac shooter genre, not only because of its strange gimmick, but also because of its anime aesthetic and design. Thanks to the rise of gacha games and VTubers, anime has become way more mainstream nowadays. Gone are the days of being a closet weeaboo. But this isn't the place to go on a tangent about modern society. This is someone else's channel after all. What I mean to say is that I find it really strange that it's taken this long for a well-made anime tactical shooter to finally appear on the market. Since it's competing against the likes of Valorant and others, Strinova needed to make their cast of characters shine for the spotlight. So developers and designers opted to focus on the artistry of their agents and bring the visual level up to the standards of the big budget gacha companies like Yorstar and Kurogame. Every member of Strinova's cast pops out and has their own fanbase within the community. Okay, most members. But my point still stands. I love these designs, and the company behind Strinova clearly does too. There is an abundance of official art for most of these characters, and I even use them for my own thumbnails. I mean, look at them. How could I not? These guys seriously care about the characters they create. Strinova designers have stated in interviews that characters are born from personalities and emotions before gameplay, and they're rather large assets. iDream Sky, the company behind Strinova, cares about more than just how much money they can milk from this game. They care about the fictional world and characters they've created, the balance of the gameplay, and the community that drives it. When you really look into it, the art and aesthetics play only a small role in the large ecosystem that's been created for us players.
Strinova has a lot of great things going for it, but what really got me hooked onto the game from the start are this game's mechanics. Call this game a Valorant clone all you want, but take a second to actually compare it with other tactical shooters. Take Fragpunk, a tac shooter that came out just recently. Fragpunk has a game-defining mechanic in its shard cards that shake up how every round gets played, and it's pretty good. But when you take that element away, it starts to look a bit more like a Valorant clone, with its first-person perspective and fast time to kill forcing the game to be played a similar way. Then take a look back at Strinova. It's a third-person shooter with a bit of a slower time to kill, which makes it feel more like Overwatch than Valorant. It's got a great foundation of mechanics with double jumps and mid-air accuracy to spice up the gunplay even more. Now, even with just that, you already have a pretty solid shooter game. But none of this is even addressing the elephant in the room. This is stringification, which lets you become flatter than the earth. And what that allows you to do is do things like glide around, climb walls, and sidestep bullets, opening the door to a whole new field of possibilities in a game that already gives you so much to work with. Now, obviously, there are other shooter games out there that all have implemented their own mechanics to achieve similar purposes, but Strinova stands out for being able to merge all of these things into one centralizing mechanic that not only is thematically in tune with the game's anime art style, but it's also executed extremely well in the gameplay. There's just so much that this mechanic brings to Strinova. If you're caught in the open with people shooting at you, just turn 2D and watch all the bullets fly past you like you just activated Ultra Instinct. If you want to be clever, you can hide on a wall and wait for your enemies to pass by you, then score an easy backstab on them. Or if you want to watch the world burn, you can trap your friends in a hallway forever. The world is really your oyster with this mechanic in your hands.
Hello, I'm Karyu. Strinova is really important to me for 3 reasons. The first one is that it appeals to my childhood interests. You know, I've always been craving for an anime shooter, and there were only a few games that were able to sate that appetite. But nothing really did it better than Strinova. I think the paper mechanic, in addition to the aesthetic, really added a lot of like the goofiness that my inner child really enjoyed. Second is that there is a desire for the game to be competitive. I've spoken with the team before, and there is a large amount of them that want the game to be extremely competitive, which seems like almost counterintuitive for a game that looks so funny. But I think seeing such close matches with, well, what was the team? Was it GUGF versus the Grusslers? Like, those were so close games, and like I was like jumping out my seat watching those. So the fact that the devs wanted the game to be competitive is another thing that's quite important to me. Now, I don't always think that the way they are going about things is optimal, at least in my opinion, but there is a reason why I have stuck with Strinova for so long. And I guess my last point is, and this is probably special to me and independent, probably exclusive to me, so I feel a bit honored, but they are the first game to really acknowledge their creators as much as possible, I guess. And the reason I say that is because when I met them during EWC and LA, they treated me with a lot of hospitality, and made sure everything was all right for me, like even dietary wise. And I'm like, damn, shit, I guess I deserve this. I'm marketing the game and shit. But yeah, Strinova cool. I don't know what else to say.
Now, we know the community of Strinova cares for each other and the game, and the developers of the game clearly care about it a lot as well. But sadly, iDreamSky, the publishers of Strinova, are a couple dollars in debt, and the daily player base of the game isn't getting any higher, meaning that the company hasn't had a good opportunity to get this game into the public's eye, which in turn is making it difficult to make a profit. iDreamSky has already had talks of either shutting down or potentially selling Strinova off to another company, and a lot of the fan base for Strinova is understandably pretty upset by this, and admittedly so am I. But this doesn't mean that Strinova is over. Far from it. iDreamSky has made a bunch of plans for the future, and they're working overtime to get these ideas out to create an even more fun and awesomer game for its players to enjoy. They recently released this Outbreak game mode where you turn into a mommy monster and turn a bunch of other people into these zombies that do your bidding. Strinova has a really promising future, and I, along with all the other people you heard from in this video, want to see it succeed. So if you're interested at all from watching this video, I strongly suggest you go check it out. It's completely free on Steam or on its own official launcher. And hey, maybe I'll see you on the game sometime. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. I don't usually make videos like these, but if you liked it, why don't you tell me with a like and maybe a little subscribe. And while you're at it, I've linked all the channels of the people who have helped me below, so if you're looking to get into more Strinova content, you should definitely watch their videos as well. They make super high quality content, and they deserve way more attention than they're getting right now. So special thanks to NBound, Zurudu, and Karayu for giving me time from their busy schedules to make an appearance in this video. And a special thanks to Panda Ryu for making this amazing art on screen right now before your very eyes. He also makes amazing content, so check him out as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, since it gives me more money. But, of course, I don't do this for the money. I do this so that I can gamble more, baby! This time for sure, I'll definitely hit that jackpot. You just gotta trust the process. I'm not addicted, it's just an investment.